Hey, what's going on, guys? I think we are back. We were having some technical issues before. I think that they are working. If you can hear me, hit that thumbs up button or post that you can hear me in the comments. I think we're having an audio issue before, but I think it is back and we are ready to talk about a wild week of weather. As the title suggests, we had a huge blizzard in the west, in the plains. We have some snow going on right now. You can see it on the screen. And then, of course, in Florida, we had another destructive hurricane make landfall a couple of days ago. The east coast of Florida specifically got the brunt of Hurricane Nicole. We're going to talk about that a lot as well. If you are new to the channel, post in the comments where you are watching from. We talk all things weather on this channel. And we're going to kind of look back and then look ahead to where we're going over the week ahead. If you want to talk about anything in particular, you guys drive this weekly Saturday show where we just hop on here live and just talk about the weather. I want to thank all of the new subscribers that have hopped on board to join this awesome weather community. We are closing in on 1,000 subscribers. So it's an awesome thing getting to meet everybody around the world. It's been crazy how far we've been able to reach on this channel. So thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for hopping on here and giving me your storm reports from Puerto Rico when we had Fiona, from all the way out west, and then of course in Florida and where we've had the destructive weather this week. So I want to thank everybody for the support as well. So post in the comments what you want to talk about. Again, you guys kind of drive this show. We'll start out with some of the snow that is on the radar picture right now. Big cold front sweeping through the United States. That is going to bring, obviously, some snow. You're seeing that there. And then eventually that's going to sweep off the U.S. and just really bring in the cold. This is going to be the biggest blast of cold that we've seen so far this season after a lot of the country has been warm. I know we had that one cold front a couple of weeks ago that kind of changed things up a little bit, but it's mainly now, it's been mainly warm. So I want to show you, these are the temperature anomalies here. You can see where the cold front is kind of sweeping through from northwest to southeast. All that blue on the screen there represents the temperature anomalies now. And really through the northern tier of the country, we're talking 15 to, in some cases, 30 degrees below normal. Again, that's not below zero. That's below normal, so it's a little better. But it's really cold. We were in the single digits today without the wind factored in the Dakotas. And then we were talking about temperatures still above normal in the Northeast. So a very warm fall day in places like Maine, Massachusetts, eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, down the Carolina coast, and then into Florida as well. And I think Florida, for the most part, if you live in the state, it is going to be really, really warm. Second of all, again, in terms of Florida, we're thinking about you guys, those that were impacted by Nicole, just insane amounts of damage on the east coast of Florida, specifically in the Daytona Beach area, Wilbur by the Sea, Ponce Inlet, Flagler Beach, and coastal Flagler County. Just awful, awful stuff if you've seen some of the footage down there. And talking with some of the people that live around there, I mean, catastrophic, never seen before. And that's saying something because everybody, you know, Florida's history when it comes to hurricanes, and for something to be unprecedented like the damage, again, it was that 1-2 punch really from Ian 6 weeks ago, weakened the infrastructure, weakened those seawalls, in some cases taken those down. And then the very, very large storm surge that was brought on by Nicole, there was nothing to stop it coming in. So those couple of things really, really, really generated the perfect storm into doing what it did there. So we are thinking about the people that pretty much lost everything on the coastline of East Coast Florida. It just brings up another kind of reminder that we talked at length to earlier in the season when it was so quiet. And it's like, what happened to that? You never let your guard down, because we always seem to get ourselves in this position. It's one of those things, again, where it only takes one. In this case, it's been three. It started with Fiona in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic and the Cayman Islands. That was devastating. And then it went on to, of course, the catastrophe that was Hurricane Ian in southwest Florida and now Nicole on the east coast of Florida. It just goes to show again, and this is something we talk at length about the channel, it's not just the category of the storm. You have to look at all of the components to it. And in this case, we were talking about the personality of Nicole being its size. And because it had such a huge, huge size, that even though it was just a Category 1 hurricane or just a tropical storm, it would still be able to generate a very, very, very large storm surge. And it did. So it's just been awful. Just looking at some of the comments that were popping up on the live feed. If you are finding this channel for the first time, thank you so much for discovering us. We talk all things weather. We would love to have you along for the ride. If you are a weather geek like a lot of us are, hit the subscribe button and join this awesome weather community. Eddie, what's going on? Hope you are doing well in Puerto Rico, and hopefully you can continue to dry things out after, again, your rough hurricane season. It's turned rough in Florida as well, up where we are. Just crazy, crazy stuff. So post in the comments what you guys want to talk about. We are breaking down the weather. See, Fort Wayne, Indiana, near Columbus, Ohio, Detroit, getting some snow out there. Crazy stuff. That's the weather whiplash that we always talk about. Again, we had a 40 to 50 degree temperature drop out in the plains yesterday behind this cold front. It's a strong one. Good to hear it, Eddie. I'm glad that you guys are doing well in Puerto Rico. The weather has just been crazy this week. In the United States particularly, the lower 48 with Nicole making landfall on the east coast of Florida. And then, of course, all the snow, the huge blizzard. Just nuts. I'm going to see if I can turn on some of the storm reports here as we take a look. I mean, there are places that got a foot of snow yesterday, blizzard conditions on top of that. So the South is a good place to be right now. Florida is really going to be like one of the only places that doesn't get hit by the crazy cold that is coming our way. Eddie, I will show you where that snow is. Places in the Dakotas and Minnesota got nailed. Big blizzard yesterday. Now there's snow in northwest Ohio into Indiana. There's some rain into western Pennsylvania, into eastern Ohio. And then that snow extends up into parts of Canada, Detroit, Michigan, Toledo, Ohio, Bellefontaine, into Findlay. Just crazy stuff. I want to show you the temperatures. We're going to bring that part of the map up. I'm going to switch you over to my different source here and just kind of show you what's going on in that part of the world. So there we go. So you can see where the cold front hasn't gone yet. Look at all that warmth down into Florida. We're in the low to mid 80s right now. That warmth extends up the Carolina coast, all the way towards New England. But you can see the divide here. We're talking upper 60s in Atlanta, but then way back in northwest Alabama, we're already into the upper 30s. Even colder, look at this, the further you go back, mid-20s in Rochester, Minnesota. Even colder in northwest Minnesota where we got all that snow. Look at this, it's negative 1 degree. It is 1 degree below zero in parts of western North Dakota where, again, they got absolutely nailed yesterday with a huge blizzard. So if you love the snow out there, winter came for you. And, you know, I think there's more snow where that came from. There's at least a lot more cold. Look at this. We're going to fast forward in time. I'm going to bring up the computer forecast for you once again. and show you that we had this kind of big blast of cold is going to recharge. So as we go forward now, this isn't the first batch of cold. This is as we get into November 18th, 19th. So what is that? A week away, a week from today. So next Saturday when we do our next live chat, pending there's not another storm that gets us on here live, because we go live every Saturday sometime in the late morning or early afternoon to just kind of chit chat, just kind of talk weather, because that's the purpose of this channel, is to talk weather with all of my weather friends out there. Saturday morning, look at that. I mean, we're talking places in western Minnesota, 40 to 45 degrees below normal. It's not below zero. That's below normal. I mean, that is going to be extremely cold. I'm going to change the parameter to show you how cold that actually is. But that is some nasty cold weather. Let's see here. And look at this. As we go back out into that same time frame, we're talking below zero. I mean, that would be that blue you see there in western Minnesota towards Fargo, North Dakota. Yeah, that's 15 to 20 degrees below zero for your overnight low next Saturday. And you can clearly see here, one of the reasons why it's going to be so much colder next cold outbreak than the one that we're currently in right now is the fact that we have some fresh snow on the ground. And that snow really helps to insulate the cold air masses coming out of Canada. And that just helps to really, really make things frigid. Just crazy. Insane stuff. Nice cold blast coming. And I know there's a lot of people up there, of course, have lived in Minnesota before. I know you guys love the snow up there. You love the cold. And hopefully we get a good ice fishing season. We keep those lakes frozen and we get a good snow for the snowmobilers out there. Because I know every now and then it's been really, really rough. Because I know some of my years up there, about 10 years ago I've lived there. I lived there for 4-ish years. And some of the snowmobiling was terrible. That was one of the big stories because of the lack of snow. So hopefully we are getting things started on the right foot. Now, in a La Nina year, which we are in, that would promote snow and cold in the upper Midwest. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for a really, really nice winter for you. And if you want to escape the cold every now and then, come visit Florida, or you can head down to Puerto Rico. That's a good spot as well to break out of the chill for a short time. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have any last minute questions, post those in the comments. I want to know where you are watching from this morning. And I want to thank all of the new subscribers that have hopped on here. You guys have been awesome. It's been great meeting people from across the world. And we're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys a ton for your support. I really appreciate it. It's been fun again getting these reports from you guys when storms have impacted Belize with Lisa, and then Puerto Rico, and then, of course, the severe weather a couple of days ago, or last week, I guess, in parts of Texas and Oklahoma. So I hope you guys are staying safe. The weather has been out of control lately. Let's hope it settles down a little bit and we can have more kind of casual conversations where we have the blizzards to talk about or the nice tropical weather to talk about, and nothing coming to be destructive, because we've seen way too much of that over the last 2 months, and really Fiona in Puerto Rico unfortunately got that trend started. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will catch you next time.